is the word of the day. Budget 2023, a big event, a big day that everyone watches out for, and obviously very important for our equity markets as well. And to talk about his budget expectations, today we have Subramaniam joining with us as well. Thank you so much, sir. Good morning. And sir, obviously you want to talk about, firstly, what are you expecting from the budget? Is this going to be a growth budget coming in for the company?
Absolutely. I think that there's going to be a renewed focus on the capital expenditure side of the budget. We are currently about 2.9. That's a trend from 2 to 2.9. I expect it to cross 3. I said about 3.1 or 3.2% of the GDP to be capex expenditure, number one. Number two is that from a capital markets perspective, which is markets are very sensitive to, I think this is not the time for populism. Giving away more tax breaks to middle class, while everybody would love it, I do not expect this to be a populist budget. Right. The third aspect is in terms of the glide path of the fiscal deficit. Last year is likely to have come at 6.4. I think they will project about 5.9, but I would be happy if they actually start to 6 and use that money for growth. So I think this is the last full budget, and people who say that the last budget to give away boost, maybe expand the PLI scheme, give it a little more, where especially given that China is facing troubles and the China Plus Fund strategy means that labor-oriented manufacturing shifting from China to India, I think that's the key thrust, because with the elections coming up next year, employment is a key, if I may use a Hindi word, mudda in the election.
Key mudda, sir, that is surely there. But does that mean that you will be saying that this is more on the growth side? They should focus on that factor as well, the infra growth?
Absolutely. I have no doubt about it that the focus should entirely be on infra. Like I said, the focus should be where the infra spend can lead to employment generation. So rural infrastructure, for example, we are aware that 60-70% of our population lives in rural India, and farming has a limitation in how much employment it can generate. But if you do more roads and cold chains and all the kind of infra in the rural area, you will create jobs and you will also give a boost to capex. So I think that rural infrastructure is probably the key in my mind.
And sir, lastly, just in terms of any concerns that we should watch out for in terms of LTCG?
I think that there's a talk of rationalizing the long-term capital gains across asset classes. So debt is at 3 years, real estate is at 2 years, equity is at 1 year. So there's a bit of I would say, dangerous talk saying make all of them 3 years, which while it's good for the consumer, I think FIIs, if they're also taxed in the same way, will say, oh God, in India I am stuck for 3 years. Right. So I should say cautious on